he's going to be at the camera. He's going to work the camera, so you don't have to do it. What I want you to do is monitor it just to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. But you don't really have to monitor it. You can monitor it from my phone. Right? No, I want to go live video on Facebook. So how do I go? How do I when YouTube want me to take it live on Facebook? I can't do that, so I have to record it from my phone to the screen, right? To do that. So that lets people know that we are.
It's like
What?
you want
I
them to
can't
see.
hear you, man. Speak up.
No, I'm saying you want them to see it from YouTube, that you on YouTube, that
Yeah.
you want them to Facebook Live like this.
Right,
We're
right,
right now.
right.
Okay, yeah. But from their phone,
But I need you to do that because I'm gonna be over here.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But you got to do it upstairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I gotta
Because this voice, this is going to be on, so it'll get to the mic over here. So you got to get the workload live on my Facebook, with my phone, and you can use your phone too, both phones. You know, that way you see it live and people can go start going to the show because I'm gonna be telling them, hey, if you want to see this on Facebook, go to YouTube and type in this thing, search ACG at Las Vegas Boulevard. At Las Vegas Boulevard is one word. That's what I'm telling you. So, that's all really good. Let's see.
go to you. Go to that. Click on where it say Las Vegas Boulevard, right below Las Vegas Boulevard where your name started. You see where it say, what is that? Go down. Click on your name, that right there. That's the video.
Warning. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. We got a bunch of bad bitches in the city, you winner, so come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. Take us, nigga. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. We got a bunch of bad bitches in the city, you winner, so come on. Come on. I come on. I come on. Come on. Come on. I come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. That's right. We put snitches in ditches, cause some of these niggas is bitches, so come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them cliffhanger thrillers and pimps be slanging chinchillas, so come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Take us, nigga. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Drug dealers, gorilla, thug niggas and killers. So come on, come on, I come on, I come on, I come on, come on, I come on, I come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them golden knights and they controlling the ice. So come on, come on, hey, come on, come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them Las Vegas aces, and we got Raider Nation, so come on, come on. Hey, come on, come on. What happens here only happens here. Only here. This where we make them bitch ass niggas disappear. They disappear. If you hate my city, make it clear. Make it clear. Nigga, you can get the fuck up out of here. Yeah. The fuck out. Get the fuck out. What up, family? How you doing? It's your big homie, Stacy G. And I want to welcome you guys to Las Vegas Boulevard, the podcast. We're going to be talking about KCEP and the EOB today, all right? And the misappropriation of funds. And first, I want to say thanks to my man, Steve Majors, a.k.a. DJ Maestro, because he provided the equipment for me to do this podcast. So big ups to that brother. Shout out to my man Brett Hansen for teaching me how to work the OBS. And it's a rough one, that OBS. Hey, you know, I'm learning it though. It's coming together. It's simple, but it's rough, but it's a dope program for it to be free. So I'm getting it together. I'm kind of crashing and burning right now, so y'all kind of bear with me. All right. And also, big ups to my man Mixmaster LV for doing this thing over at 103.1. I was kicking it with them over there. My girl Bunny, shout out to them over at 103.1, man, for they're actually doing cross promotions with us over at 99.7. The Vibe, you know what I'm saying? And two radio stations going to be working together in the community, man. That's a rare thing. That is a definite rare thing. But I got to give my apologies for us starting so late because we were supposed to start this podcast a few months back in like March actually. But my cameraman, his father-in-law was hospitalized for a few months, and unfortunately he passed away. So he's kind of back there handling some family things. I think he should be back here with us next episode. He goes by the name of Gregory, so prayers up to you, Gregory, man. Get your family in order, brother. Appreciate you and much love. All right. Right now, my son, Lil Stacy, he working the camera for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm kind of self-contained here, so I'm learning the program and all this stuff. So y'all, you just kind of just, you know, Bear with me. Bear with me. But like I said, we're gonna be talking about a radio station that's near and dear to my heart, which is KCEP, and it's near and dear to me because of the fact that when I was a teenager, that's when I started at KCP in high school, and the station then was a learning station. It taught me how to become an air personality. The DJs back then that taught me DC Ryder, Gino Balmore, Vegas J, Bobby D. Williams, Essence West, people like that. And, shout out to them. Rest in peace to DC Ryder and Gino Balmore and Vegas J. And, those guys were actually teaching, and the station was thriving. I mean, the station was making big dollars, okay? But what was happening with the station back then is that they were putting the money back in the station. So at that point in time, being that they were putting the money back in the station, what they did was they were able to put jocks all the way around the hour, jocks all the way around the hour. I mean, that's from 6 in the morning all the way back to 6 in the morning again the next morning. So you had DJs every shift, all right? So the station was making money to be able to pay these guys and to do production and talent fees and things of that nature and go out and do things in the community. The station was actually thriving, okay? I know this because I was at the station and doing a lot of the live remotes back in the day, and I was watching the money come through the door. And back then, the donations for were that they paid to get in was for the radio station. Now you get in the live remote, it's free. People aren't paying a donation. The cover charge at the door was the donation for the event to the radio station to keep the radio station functioning and doing big things. And I mean very, very, very big things. So, and it was a beautiful thing that the station back then brought the people together. Okay, it actually brought the people together. But listen. Subscribe to the channel. I want you to do that right now. All right, subscribe to the channel, like and comment. I'm gonna be looking at the comments and all that. And so when you get a chance to watch this, if you're not watching it right now, like and comment and subscribe to the channel. So every time we do a video, baby, you get that notice. Okay. Now, I want to give you guys a little backstory on the history of me and the general manager of KCP, just so you can get an understanding of why I don't like this motherfucker. Okay? Just a little bit of understanding. Now, we go back to the early 80s, or mid-80s, should I say. You can say. He joined my crew back in 1984. Okay? He actually begged me to get in because I turned him down quite a few times. And then I finally said, you know what, fuck it. Come on, let's do it. Let's make it happen. A lot of guys in the crew didn't like that. They did not like him because he was arrogant, but he was never arrogant to me at this point because he needed me, because I was the leader of the crew. So he was never really arrogant with me, but the brother was very arrogant to them. And now I can see where they were coming from because I couldn't see it then. Me being the boss, he didn't play the arrogant role with me. He didn't, because he knew I didn't care if he was Gladys Knight's nephew or Bubba Knight's son. Okay. He did not care about that. I mean, I did not care about that. Everybody else might have, because he was introduced to me as Gladys Knight's nephew, and I told him I don't give a damn who nephew he is. If he can't rap, if he can't mix on these turntables, fuck him, get him out of here. Plain and simple. I don't care who he is. All right. And now back in these days, folks wanted to rob that boy because he was coming to the west side in his daddy's Benz and shit like that. And they was looking at him like, I had to stop that shit. I had to stop motherfuckers from robbing this motherfucker. And trust me, the niggas in the neighborhood, they wanted to get him. And I stopped him. So I told him, I said, dude, you gotta park that car in the driveway. You park it on the street, ain't nothing I can do. But if you park it in the driveway, they won't fuck with it. So he started parking that Bubba's Mercedes Benz in the fucking driveway so nobody wouldn't take that motherfucker and rob him. And all that good shit, because they definitely wanted to get him. All right, but now listen, him and his daddy fell out. Him and his wife fell out. All that, so he didn't have no place to stay. So he stayed at my mama's house. This nigga stayed in my mama's house, ate my mama's food. Understand? He ate my mama's food. Didn't have a job. Didn't pay no bills. None of that. I treated the nigga like a brother. She treated him like a son. And all my uncles and shit treated him like a nephew. You know, took care. Nobody didn't fuck with him because of my family and because of the motherfuckers in the neighborhood in Del Monte. Folks didn't fuck with him, and he knew that. So that helped him be a little bit more arrogant because the neighborhood was fucking with him and keeping folks from jumping him and shit like that. You know, but now, again, I just said, I treated him like a brother. He stayed in my mama's house. He ate my mama's food under her roof, and he had no job. He wasn't paying no fucking bills, okay? All right, so this is what makes me mad about this brother, you know, because some years later, because he had to leave town in 89, but he comes back about 10 years later after 89. I believe it was 99. And we got over at Desert Sky Media, which was V108 and 105.70 Oasis. Okay? Now, he fucked me out of a position over there because he tried to told the general manager that I had left town. So he didn't even know I knew that shit. And the general manager, when I came up to the radio station, the general manager told me, "Hey man, I heard you left town. I heard you moved away from Bay." I'm like, "Why the fuck would I move away from my hometown?" You know what I mean? Why would I move from my hometown? That's some dumb shit. Much as I love Las Vegas, all the celebrities that I met them right here in Las Vegas. I didn't meet them in L.A. I met a few in L.A., but the majority of them I met right here in Vegas and performed with them right here in Vegas, and some of them across the country. You know what I mean? So, all that stuff right there to me don't mean shit. You know, because I met many people, I met many celebrities, and a celebrity's nephew or son don't mean shit to me. So I'm not going to treat you any different than I would treat somebody around me that grew up with me. You know, I'm a poor motherfucker. I ain't never been rich. I ain't never claimed to be rich. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying I'm broke. I'm just a poor motherfucker. Just like the rest of the poor motherfuckers that ain't got $2. You know what I'm saying? To spend just willy-nilly, like just fucking off money. I don't do that. It's not my thing. You know, I take care of my business. You know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, this guy, Craig Knight, when we were at the Desert Sky Media, we had a change of bosses, program directors. And once those program directors switched positions, neither one of us knew the new one that was coming in, which was Tony Rankin. I never met him. Craig never met him. Nobody had never met him. So I came in one day, and I was getting ready to go do some production. And he said, "Hey, are you Stacey G?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I need to talk to you. Come on into my office." So I go into the man's office, and he said, "Yeah, man, close the door." I closed the door. He said, "Have a seat." I sit down. He said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you some shit. And when I tell you this, you can't do nothing to the person that told me. You got to promise me that." That's exactly what he said to me. "You got to promise me you're not going to do nothing to the person that told me this shit." So I said, "Okay. I promise you I won't do nothing to it. What you talking about, man? What's going on?" Because now, when he first said, I need to talk to you, I'm thinking he finna talk to me about, you know, "Hey, man, my name is such and so. This is the way I like things done," and blase, blase. You know, just introduce yourself kind of. But that wasn't what this conversation was about. This man told me, he says, "Listen, Craig Knight came in here and told me that you were a drug dealer, a gangbanger, and I needed to fire you right away." I was like, "Really? Craig Knight told you this shit?" He said, "Yes." He said, "And I'm telling you this because I want you to know what you're dealing with. I'm not going to fire you. I just want you to know what the fuck you're dealing with, what you're up against." You know, so I don't know what y'all situation is, but that's what you're up against. He said, "I heard about Craig Knight before I even stepped foot in Vegas." He said he had already heard that Craig Knight would give him the most problems out of anybody if he had any problems. So there you go. That's why I don't like that nigga. That's exactly why I don't like the motherfucker. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. Because he was pretending to be my partner. We was business partners and all that shit too. He was pretending to be my partner, my friend, and all that shit like he had my back. But behind my back, the motherfucker was stabbing me with the knife. You know, boom, boom, stabbing the shit out of the motherfucker. Didn't think I was going to know. But when I found out about it, and I couldn't do nothing about it. I had to see this nigga every day. I had to walk into the room to the radio station and see this motherfucker every day, and not say nothing and not do nothing to him about this situation and the shit that I know about, that this motherfucker done went and told the boss about me. Okay, so that's why I don't like this cat. All right, and so I'm gonna leave that right there. So y'all, that just to give y'all a better understanding of why I don't like him. Don't hate him. Take too much energy to hate the nigga, but I don't like him. I definitely don't like him because he ain't shit. I see what kind of motherfucker he is, and I couldn't see it when he was in my crew because he worked for me. But when you work for other people and somebody else is the boss, his job is, I guess he feels, is to try to impress their boss, kiss their boss's ass, and stab you in the back in the process. Because that's what he's been doing to a lot of people. I'm not the only person he done shit like this to. Okay? But that's the kind of motherfucker Craig Knight is. All right? And he's the general manager at KCP. And he's one of the main reasons the community will not donate money to the goddamn radio station. Because they say he arrogant. He's full of himself. You know? People aren't donating money because if they was, they wouldn't be begging for money. They begging for money right now. Right now they're getting ready to get a campaign going for y'all so they can try to get the community to give them some money. Now, the community say fuck that shit. We're not giving up no money because they trying to figure out what happened to the money for the Black Mountain move with the antenna. Okay? They want to know what happened to that money. Okay? So, and they've been getting a lot of money from the government. And then when they get the money from you, they still saying we don't have a budget for a lot of shit. So right now what I want to do is run off some numbers for you guys. Okay? I got some numbers from 2020 to 2023. I haven't been able to get the 2024 numbers yet. But I got some numbers from 2020 all the way up to 2023 of money that they got from the government, grants that they got. And these are just some of the grants, not all of the grants that they got from the government, okay? Because they do different programs, or supposed to do different programs, and they get money from the government for these certain programs now, okay? So I'm going to give you these numbers because the stuff I'm going to be telling you is after this is going to be going back to the early 2000s. So I'm trying to give you these numbers now, and we're going to come back because all of that has something to do with today's numbers. All right? So in 2020, all right, 2020, that was during the pandemic. They got $112,136. $112,136. That was in 2020. And like I said, that's not all the money they got. The EOB gets more money for different stuff they got. They got the senior program and stuff like that. All right? So this is not all the money they got, and they get more money for different stuff they do at KCP, or they're supposed to be doing at KCP, put it that way. All right? In 2021, they got $207,635. All right? $207,635. That's what they got. That was 2021. Now, 2022, they got $236,160 for 50th anniversary documentary. All right? Now, if you see this documentary, you know damn well it ain't worth no $200,000. I'm going to tell you that right now. I saw the shit. And it looked like it might have been $7,000 worth of work when you look at that shit. Now, well, I'm trying to figure out where the other money went. Okay. And also in that same year, 2022, they got $98,653 from the government. All right? That's a lot of money they got. In 2023, they got $231,705. Okay? Now, I'm giving y'all these numbers because every time you ask them about programs and things about the community, first thing comes out of their mouth is, we don't have a budget for that. So, if you don't have a budget for that, where the fuck is all this money going? You see what I'm saying? Where the fuck, all that money I just named, and that's not including all the money that they got, or the shit that came from the little money they get from the live remotes. It's not including all that. Okay? Where is this money going since you never have a fucking budget for nothing? All right? Craig Knight has been there since 2007. That's 18 years. That's 18 years of failure. The radio station going down. Okay? And this the shit I'm talking about right now ain't personal, because the personal shit I just told you about. This is business. Has to do with the community, with the radio station that I love, KCP, to my heart, because I learned from there. You know, you move on, but you still learn, and you still have love for the places that you've been. You know, and this dude been there since what, 2007. So what happened to the listeners? Huh? Where are the listeners at? They lost those. Where's the money? Where's the revenue? He lost all the revenue and all the listeners. All right? How does this happen if you're doing such a big thing in the community? Because that documentary was basically about Craig. It wasn't about the radio station and what it's doing for the community. It was basically about what Craig was doing at the radio station. But at this point, Craig Knight, Lawrence Weekly, Lawrence Beasley, they're going to be known for the motherfuckers that took KCP down. Because I give KCP about 8 to 10 months, they're going to have to sell that motherfucker. I told y'all this back in January, actually. I told y'all that they was going to have to sell this radio station because they almost had to sell it in the early 2000s, okay? Now, I'm telling y'all right now that I feel that there's a misappropriation of funds going on, that's been going on. And what I'm finna tell you now is about the misappropriation of funds that was happening in the early 2000s that led up to the situation that's happening today, which they have to beg the community for money. Because the community used to give them money. They didn't used to have to beg for money. People used to actually advertise with that radio station. They used to pay to advertise with the station until you got Craig in there. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why and how he came into play right now. Okay? Now, I got this information from 2 different sources. All right? At 2 different times. All right? And they weren't together telling me this. It's 2 different sources at 2 different times telling me the same fucking story. All right? That ain't no fucking coincidence. These people say they were there. I wasn't there, but these people say they were there. You know, so I can't say, well, yeah, I know this for a fact, blase, because I wasn't in the room, but they say they were there. And these people were credible with me. Very credible. Why? Because they never lied to me about nothing like this kind of shit before. You know, and they don't have to. They reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them. They reached out to me. Just like my man John Edmonds, who was going to be a guest on the show a little bit later. All right, he reached out to me because people have their stories and they want to talk about the radio station. They love the station, and they hate to see it go down the path that it's going in. All right, which is Larry Weekly, Lawrence Beasley, Craig Knight taking it down. All right, so, but the people that told me this, this implicates some well-known people in the community. All right, and I like these people, so I'm not gonna just be blouting out their names like that, because I like the people. You know, they were really basically trying to help, and at the same time, they were getting what they wanted out of the deal. Okay, so remember, I was telling you guys, if you saw some of those videos I posted on Facebook and Instagram about the misappropriation of funds in the early 2000s, right? Well, back then, when they were audited by the government, they owed the government a few $1 million. Yeah, we're talking about millions, not a couple of thousand. They owed the government a few $1 million. All right, and the government wanted their money back. All right, now the people that I talked to, and like I told you, 2 different occasions, I talked to these people, but they came with the same story, and the timelines add up. All right, so when they were audited in the early 2000s, the government found that their books were being kept sloppy, and the board members were non-existent. And so if the board members are non-existent, you got to understand that the community hasn't a voice. They don't have a voice. That's what you got to understand. That means certain people that whose names are on that board is going to make all the decisions, which Larry Weekly. Okay? Because when the station was audited in the early 2000s like that, he was vice chairman of the board. Now, I bring this up because all this kind of shit shows the character of the people that's running the EOB and the radio station. That's why I'm telling you the information I'm telling you. And I know a lot of you already know Larry Weekly, son. You know his character. You know it. That's why he ain't running for the office no more, because he know nobody's going to vote for him. You know. it's just one of them damn things. Because if folks would vote for him, that motherfucker would run, you know. And but yeah, so what happened was, again, these guys, Larry Weekly and those guys on the board, and it ain't a whole bunch of board members right now. I feel like the board members are non-existent again. I know for a fact that one of them is. Okay, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute too. But those guys needed that money to pay back the government, or they was gonna have to sell the radio station to do it. There was talks of selling that station to get out of debt with the government for those millions of dollars. Okay. At the same time, Desert Sky Media had been sold, and myself and Gene Harris, rest in peace, were the only people that they kept at the radio station over at V108 and 105 to 70 Oasis. Everybody else got fired. All right. So Craig was out of a job. He was looking for a job. He was trying to get over at Clear Channel with me because I was at Clear Channel also at that same time. And he had Larry Weekly call over there and talk to the bosses over there and tried to make them hire Craig, and they told him they wasn't hiring shit. They didn't even know who the fuck Craig Knight was. And then because they called me in the office, like, hey Stacy, you know this Craig Knight guy or Councilman Weekly? I said, yeah, I know both of them. Craig Knight used to work over at Desert Sky Media with me, and I know Larry Weekly. Yeah. He said, well, he called and tried to make us hire Craig Knight. Told him we needed to hire him. I was like, really? That's low. I didn't think Craig would do no stupid shit like that, but he did. And I didn't think Larry would be stupid enough to do no shit like that, but he did. And they told me that as long as they're at Clear Channel, Craig Knight will never work there. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh and walk out. It is what it is. And at this time, they were trying to get the KCP out of debt, the EOB out of debt, really, because the EOB owns and operates KCP. And if they owe millions of dollars, then they owe for a lot of shit. And again, back at this time when they were audited by the government that I'm talking about right now, they were supposed to be selling programs to different radio stations across the country. They got money for that from the government, but they didn't sell not one fucking program. Now, I'm telling you all the shit that I'm telling you. You can Google this shit. I'm not just making this shit up, okay? This is not a makeup. You can Google everything I'm telling you. You can Google. I'm telling you some good shit because when I Googled it, this is how I get the information because everything is, you gotta understand it's a public radio station, so all the shit that I'm telling you is public knowledge. A lot of people just don't know how to go about getting it, and a lot of people don't want to speak on it because of Larry Weekly and his positions politically back in the day. But to me, it don't make no sense for this shit to keep going on, and then we have to lose the radio station because these guys don't want to do the right thing. They just want to self-serve. Can't have them self-serving like that. We can't do that. We need to take the motherfucking radio station back and get it back to the community. They need to have people in charge. The community needs to have a voice over there at KCP. Well, actually at the EOB board, period, because I've been hearing they've been messing over the seniors over there at the senior center as well. So, but when the government cut their funds, now they're begging the community all over again. But now, here's why they're doing that. Now, when Larry couldn't get Craig over at Clear Channel or no other radio station, at the same time he was, like I say, he was trying to get money to get the station out of debt with the government for those millions of dollars. Okay, now when he did that, I'm sure he ain't just decided to do this on his own because he had to talk to Lawrence Beasley, and he had to talk to Craig, and he really had to talk to Craig, but he talked to him because he put Craig in the position that he's in today as the general manager. Okay. Now the people that gave me this information said that there's a couple of people involved that you guys all know, well known. The main contributor to it is a well-known entertainer around the world. To help him get out of this debt. Now, again, I wasn't in the room, so I can't say I know this for sure. But they told me they know because they were there. The people that gave me this information was there. That they helped him get out of that debt. But now that person got to get his money back.
because they're not going to give up their money without getting their money back in a return in their investment. Okay? So they got to get a return on their money. Now, like I told you, I'm not going to mention the names of the people, but you do the math. Put it together. I told you what it is. It's a few people in the community, business owners, well known. But the biggest contributor to that was a well-known entertainer around the world. And I like all these people, and that's why I'm not giving up any names like that, because I like all these people. Just like my sources, I won't give up their names because I know Larry Weekly will try to come after them. So I'm not giving up their names. That's not going to happen. They don't want their names out there. And the people that was involved in this, I like these people because they're good people. You know, they were basically just trying to help out. But the wrongdoing is coming on the other end, because if you're getting government money to pay back the loan that you got from somebody to pay the government back, then basically what you're doing is you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's what that shit sound like to me, right? Okay, you getting money from Peter to pay Paul. So now they want the community to pay that debt back to the person that they got the money from. Okay? They want the community to pay the debt back to the person they got the money from to pay back the government. So that's what's going on right now. And if they fire Craig, then all this shit's going to come out. Well, it just came out because I just put it out there. But that's why they can't fire Craig. This is why they can't fire Craig Knight as general manager. Because if they fire him, then he'll confirm all this shit that I'm telling you. All this shit will come out. Because he ain't going to let it sit there. But that's why he was able to run amok. Larry Weekly brought him in, yes. But I was told by a couple of people for the past few years, Larry Weekly and Craig ain't been getting along. And then in the meeting that I had with Larry Weekly, he said it. He confirmed that shit for me. He told me, he said, man, me and Craig ain't no motherfucking friends. We don't hang out. We don't kick it. We don't go out and do shit together like that, man. That ain't my partner. I was like, okay. Okay, and I mean, he was making it damn clear that him and Craig don't kick it. They ain't partners. They ain't friends. He made it, and like I said, I'm not the only one that was in this meeting. Mixmaster LVYA, DJ Rory was in this meeting. Also, Quincy of Quincy Cigar Lounge was in this meeting. I'm not the only one hearing this shit that I'm telling you. Okay, there's witness to this, and that meeting was recorded. So he can't even deny this shit. He can't deny that he's saying that he told me that he hadn't been paying attention to the radio station. He can't deny that he told me that the board members haven't been coming to the meetings. He can't get them to come to the meeting. He can't deny this shit because he said all this stuff. Larry Weekly. So if you don't have any board members, then you're doing shit illegally over there. That's how I see that. Because the board members are supposed to represent the community. And I'm trying to figure out, again, why is Larry Weekly the chairman of the board? Why is that? Why is Larry Weekly the chairman of the board over at the EOB? Can you tell me that? Because to me, it's supposed to be somebody that that's non-biased. That's what's supposed to be in that position, which would be Commissioner McCurdy. Because that's how Larry Weekly got in the position. When he was commissioner, that's how he got into the position to be the chairman. So Commissioner McCurdy really is supposed to be the chairman of the board over there, so the community can have a voice. Because right now, with the board members being non-existent, and I believe that the board members are non-existent. I believe this, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know one of them is for sure, which is Dave Washington. Where I got that at right here. Dave Washington. His name is on that board as secretary, and he told me himself back in February, because he came to at my aunt's funeral. He came to me. He said, "Stacy, man, I saw the video that you did on Facebook, and man, you got into them niggas, man. Yeah, it's about time." I was like, "Well," yeah, Dave, but the thing is, I saw your name on the board as secretary, and what I told I saw your name, so that kind of concerns me, man. What's up with that? He said, "Stacy, listen. I told Larry Weekly to take my name off that shit a long time ago." This is what Dave Washington used to be. He was the former fire chief. He told me, I told him to take my name off that shit a long time ago. He ain't got nothing to do with that. So if that's the case, and his name, and I Googled this shit, his name was right there. So if the case is that he's not on there, then how many other names ain't there really for real? Because Okay, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Dave Washington, secretary. He's the secretary of the board over there. You got Weekly as the chairman, and you got Fred Harron as treasurer. All right. Then you got Yolanda Dickerson as a board member, and then you got Assemblyman C.H. Miller as a board member. Right. Now, like I say, this stuff I Googled, and the thing is, if Dave Washington is not there, and Assemblyman C.H. Miller is not even an assemblyman, he lost in I think 22 or 23. He's not even an assemblyman. So these names, where are these people at? How come they're not showing up to meetings? You got a former assemblyman that's not showing up to this meeting. This shit is supposed to be about the community having a voice. That's what the board is supposed to be about. Again, I told you in the early 2000s when the government went in there and audited them motherfuckers, they didn't see any evidence of board members. They said that. It's in the article. Google this shit. I'm telling you, because everything I'm telling you is real. These numbers that I'm giving you they are real. Ain't none of this shit fake. Now, them 2-day-old air personalities that they got over there right now, I tell you that I'm telling a lie, because I heard them say, "Oh, I don't believe that shit that you see on social media." Then they telling these lies because they don't know shit. They don't know nothing about nothing that what's going on. They just over there happy to be on the radio for free. They ain't even getting paid. They just over there. You got a 40, 50-year-old motherfucker over there board hopping as an intern. A 50-year-old intern. Come on, man. An intern? Really? You want to be on the radio that bad? You going to be over there to not get a dime to be an intern at a radio station? And they teaching these people how to do all the wrong shit on the radio. Okay? All the wrong shit. They teaching them to do everything wrong on the radio over there. So they will never get a job at a commercial station. All the people that was doing professional shit as radio that can get at a commercial station is gone. They're gone. I'm talking about the Ballin' D's, the fucking DJ Thumps and DJ Remixes. All these guys are professional. They're gone. Because Craig don't want nobody over there that know radio. He don't want nobody over there that know how to do this shit for real. You know, that's why he didn't want to put me on the air during the day like that, because he know that it would have took attention away from him. And he ain't doing shit over there right now, but he trying to figure out a way to get your money. He wants your motherfucking money right now. They all trying to figure out a way to get your money so they can pay that debt, from what I'm told. From what I'm told by people that were there. They trying to pay that debt back. They still trying to pay that debt back from when they owe the government them millions. See, this is what it stems to today. This is why they never have a budget for anything to right now today. Never. You know what I'm saying? They never, ever, ever have a budget for anything right now today. Go ask them right now. See what they got. Hey, well, listen, we want to do this, we want to do that. They're gonna tell you, oh, we don't have a budget for that. We don't. You know, where the fuck all that money go? Where did it go to? You got all of this fucking money, but you ain't got a budget to do none of the shit that you're supposed to be doing in the program. This station is supposed to be for the community. The community don't have a voice. The community telling me everywhere I go, man, what the fuck them motherfuckers ain't. Listen, and I didn't know this because I wasn't listening to the radio station before when I left radio. I didn't even know that people hated Craig like this until I made him give me that radio show. Once I made the nigga give me the radio show, then I started going to different people for sponsorship, and they started telling me, oh, fuck KCP, man, that nigga Craig, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow, okay. That's when I started learning how the public, the community, don't even like this cat. So I said, well, shit, I'm not the only one that he fucked over, obviously. Obviously. Okay? But now listen. And if you see this little article right here next to me, can you see it? You see the article right there? Read that article. Right? I'm not, you know, this kind of shit is public knowledge. This is like I say, this is not shit that I'm making up. This shit is public fucking knowledge. And you guys can get this information that I'm talking about. You can get it. The other information you can't get because, you know, that's not public knowledge. What my sources told me. But this other stuff that I'm talking about that I do know for sure is public knowledge. Everybody can get this information, okay? And like I said, Larry Weekly done bumped heads with a lot of people in the community, and that's why he's not running for any position in politics no more, because he know people are not going to vote for him next. They ain't going for that shit no more. These guys are trying to change the history of the radio station and the community. That's what they're doing. They're trying to change the history to where it suits them and make them look like superheroes to the community. That's what they did. I don't like that bullshit, because they leave out the real superheroes of the community when they do that stupid shit. That's why I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're trying to make themselves, oh, well, the station wouldn't be this and wouldn't be that. Larry Weekly tried to tell me that he saved KCEP. I stopped his motherfucking ass in his tracks when he said that shit. I said, motherfucker, you can stop that bullshit. You ain't going to tell. You're not going to sit. This is at the meeting. I said, you're not going to sit here and tell me that you saved KCP. I know better than that bullshit. And you tell that to motherfuckers that ain't from here. But I know better. And what he did, roll his eyes and sit back in the seat, because that's what he do. He'll roll his eyes on you. You know, come on, man. Don't do that female shit to me. Get to rolling your eyes. I don't want to see that shit. Let's speak. If we're going to speak it, let's speak the truth. Don't be rolling your fucking eyes at me. Because I'm not finna let you tell me no bullshit. You could tell that shit to other motherfuckers. You know, just like when we first got into the meeting, he started talking about his law enforcement friends. Well, my law enforcement friends was wondering if I needed their help and all that. Hell, nigga, look. Let me explain something to you, man. I don't give a fuck about your law enforcement friends. I got law enforcement friends. They was asking me the same shit. Stacey, you all right? Yep, I'm good. I'm very good. This is about the community. This ain't got nothing to do with violence or none of that shit. I know Larry Weekly wanted me to come at him that way, in a gangbang type of style. He wanted that, but I wouldn't. That ain't how things are supposed to be done. Things are supposed to be done to where we can come to a motherfucking conclusion on this shit and get shit right. That's how shit's supposed to be done, So no, I wasn't gonna come at him like that, but I was just gonna come at him with the truth, like I do and like I'm doing right now. And at the same time, Larry Weekly he'll say to you guys that if it wasn't for him, listen, I'm the one who put the station in this position to do that. I made it do that. I put the lights up at Doolittle. Look, all that shit you were supposed to do because you were in the position to do it. You were city council, you was commissioner and all that. You're supposed to do this shit. Why are you trying to act like you're some kind of superhero because you're doing shit you're supposed to fucking do? And then the other shit that you don't do that you're supposed to do, because a lot of business people in the community, black business people in the community, said they came to you and you would not help them with their business so they can go to the next level. Now, a couple of people came to me and told me this, and that's why they don't like you, and that's why they won't vote for you. You diss people, man. And Larry Weekly said this I got a phone call from actually my cousin, because she ran into Larry Weekly. In a sense, she saw him, but he saw her, and Larry Weekly done me this way before too. So I know the kind of motherfucking shit he'll do. So I'm pretty sure he did this shit, and I know he did it because I talked to him that same day, because I called him right after it happened, when she called me and told me that it was an Office Depot or one of those places that she saw him and he saw her, and then he turned his back. He didn't say hi. And this was right after her mother had passed. None of that. He didn't come give his condolences or nothing, no shit like that. He just turned his back and walked out and didn't even acknowledge her. So she called me and told me about it. I said, oh, well, really? I said, wow, that's fucked up. So I said, I'm going to call him and see what's going on. So I called him. He said, well, Stacey, man, I said, Larry, you're making enemies, man, in the community, man. You constantly doing that. What the fuck is going on, man? Oh, well, man, I come to find out to get where I am, man, you're going to make some enemies. You're going to make some enemies. Okay, that's fine. But you making a lot of enemies. You ain't making some enemies. You making a lot of motherfucking enemies in the community. A lot of them. Okay? And doing that shit, it's just fucking up everything. That's why people know that there's no voice at that radio station, because you're the chairman of the board. So whatever you say goes. And also, here's another thing I don't like. I almost forgot about this shit. Okay? My man, Robert Twix Taylor, he was running for city council, North Las Vegas, mayor of North Las Vegas. And he had a radio show before he was running on KCP. They told him that he had to get off the radio. He couldn't have his show no more because he was into politics, because he was running for a political position. This is what they told him. So they put him off the radio, okay? Now, I said that when he told me this, I was like, wow, really? I was like, damn, Twix, that's some fucked up shit. I said, so well, let me ask you this. I said, well, Larry Weekley was commissioner. He was city council, and he had Straight Talk all these years doing that same show. So what the fuck? How is that possible? How come you can't do it and Larry Weekley can? Because he's the chairman of the board. So whatever he say, go fuck everybody else. Fuck the community. Fuck what the community says. It's what Larry Weekley says. That's why I say Larry brought Craig in, get his ass out. He said, well, Stacey, it's going to take some time. Well, shit. It's been, 9 months now? And that motherfucker still sitting over there losing money, trying to get y'all to give him some money so they could pay back that debt to the person that they borrowed it from. See, you got to understand that. They trying to pay back a debt to the person that they borrowed this debt from. And that really sucks, because that fucks us up, because we get hurt in the process. We lose a radio station. We do, the community. We lose that shit because they were self-serving. They were doing what they wanted to do with the money instead of what was supposed to be done with the money. See? And that's why I say right now I believe there's a misappropriation of funds that's been going on right now at KCP, because it's been going on for years. This ain't the first time. John Edmonds going to tell you that. It happened in the early 80s again, when John Edmond actually saved the radio station. Now, John saved it. John Edmond did. All right? He actually saved the fucking radio station. I don't know what the fuck Larry Weekley talking about. He saved it. They didn't save shit. All you did was put the radio station and the community in the position to where they're going to actually be losing the station. Because that big beautiful bill makes it possible for a commercial station to buy that radio station. Okay, come on now, this shit I'm telling you, man, is elementary. It really is. This is not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? It's public knowledge, and all of the community should know this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna hide it from you. If you don't hear about it, if you don't see it on the news, they gonna keep that shit here. They ain't gonna bring it to you. They're not gonna tell you this stuff because they want to make it seem like they're the reason why everything goes well, and other people are the reasons why shit goes wrong. And that's some fucked up shit. All right? But again, like I said, that's why they can't get rid of Craig, because Craig will spill all the beans. That motherfucker will spill every bean he can spill. You understand me? If they fire him, I'm pretty sure, and the person that gave him the money might start talking too. You see what I'm saying? See, you got to understand this. They got to keep that shit hidden, because now that'll let you know that they were ripping off the money. If all that comes out, they're gonna let you know that they were self-serving with all that money they were getting from the government. The government said, y'all ain't going to get no more motherfucking money. And now the community is the only thing that can save them. Small business. And these are the same, they asking these businesses. That's what's funny about this shit. They asking these businesses, right, for all this money. And these are the same businesses that they was dissing and wasn't doing shit for in the community. Now, why would these businesses all of a sudden start helping out the radio station now, if they haven't been doing it all these years? It's been 18 years they haven't been doing it. Why would they start now? Huh? Because they stopped. The community stopped. The community stopped listening. So why would they start giving you money? Why would you give a motherfucker some money? If you loaned him $100 already and then he comes to you for some more, why would you give him some more? Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you keep a general manager in position for 18 years that all he did was lost listeners and revenue, and say, we don't have a budget for that? Why would you do that? No business in the world would do that. No business in the world would do that. There's only one reason that you do that. It's because Craig is a plant. He was put in position to make sure the person that loaned them the money to pay the government got their money back, plus their return on their investment. Yeah. See, that's what I'm just telling you. This information comes to me from people that say they were there. I'm just letting you guys know it because I feel like y'all need to know this shit. Y'all need to know why the station is more than likely finna be sold. Like I said, I told y'all this back in January. It ain't like this information I'm giving you is new. I told you this back in fucking January that this shit was gonna happen. I told the executive director Lawrence Beasley that this was gonna happen. His reaction to me was, well, you know, we got first priority with Las Vegas for grants. Okay, motherfucker, you got. What does that fucking mean? No. Just because you got first. So what happens if there is no first priority grant to fucking get? What happens then? You're going to need the community. So you better try to get rid of Craig ass now so you can get the community back to trusting you. Or you're going to wait till it's too late and you're going to have to sell this motherfucker. Trust me, that radio station is going to more than likely have to be sold. I'm just trying to tell y'all some good shit. You know, because this is real shit that I'm talking to you about. This is not bullshit. I'm talking to you motherfuckers about some real good shit because I love y'all. Y'all my Vegas community, man. You know, and y'all need to know this shit. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, this the kind of shit you need to know what they're doing with your radio station, your tax dollars. Yours. Y'all pay for this shit that they doing. And you should be upset. Because if it fucks me up, I know I'm upset. And I let them know I'm upset. I told Larry Weekly, dude, you don't have to be looking around to get nobody to replace Craig. I can replace him, and I know other motherfuckers that can replace him. But they can't replace him. They can't get rid of this guy because he'll spill all the beans on why he's there in the first place. Because he don't know radio. He suck in radio. He can't talk on the air all that well. He can't do that. If you ever check that breakdown bullshit show, that's some bullshit. I listened to that shit when he was talking about they got to pay this and that, $6,000 a month for the antenna. I thought y'all owned the antenna. Then you move it to Black Mountain. Now you renting. You say you pay $6,000 in rent for an antenna that you moved to Black Mountain. That you supposed to got money to move to Black Mountain. You know, that's what I'm saying. They be saying shit. It's like, okay, now you're contradicting yourself because you just said this and you just said that. You know, so you can't listen to that shit. You can't be listening to that. And I know a lot of people that's from out of town that have moved here. See, y'all don't really know the real story behind this shit. You know, so they're trying to, because they know people moving here, you know, heavy on a constant basis, and they can try to tell you anything so you can believe that they're the ones that made the radio station like this and the black community like that, and which really they didn't do shit. They didn't do a motherfucking thing. Okay? And I'm not playing here with you guys. I'm telling y'all some real shit. This shit is real. And Larry Weekly and them know that I don't play when it comes to this kind of shit about Vegas because they know I love Las Vegas to the fullest. I'm born and raised here. It's my home motherfucking town, so you know I love it. And I'm not going to let these guys sit around here and try to change history. And neither is John Edmond, which I'm going to be getting to him in a minute. If y'all watching this shit somewhere else, or like on Facebook or some shit, then go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and go to the search bar, type in Stacy G at Las Vegas Boulevard. At Las Vegas Boulevard is one word. All right? You subscribe to the channel, comment, like, all that good shit, man. You know? So, because if it's about Las Vegas, man, that's what we're doing here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to speak on it. Also, on just like we do on the radio, I'm going to be playing some local videos. All right? I'm definitely going to be playing some local fucking videos. So listen, right now I want to do that. I want to play a video by a cat named D-Lo. And he's a local artist right here in Las Vegas. The boy is dope. He was actually in one of my at the rap battle that I had last year, as a matter of fact. The Las Vegas Boulevard rap battle. He was in that. He came in second place, this kid. So y'all check out this video, and I'll be right back. You know, your big homie, Stacy G, man. It's Las Vegas Boulevard, the podcast. You know, that's how we do.
Crazy night, I made me a little back, hotel we go, the east, drop, cheese, swagging, couldn't help to bear.
Told you this album was finna be crazy, yo.
Crazy light, I made me a little back, hotel we go, the east, drop, cheese, swagging, couldn't help to bear.
Let's go. Yo, it was crazy last night. I made me a little dancer. Back Back to the hotel we go, the East Tropicana. She saw my swag and couldn't help to banter. Had a lot of questions, but I didn't give an answer. Had a lot up in the chatterbox on my goal, then try to jack the pot. Girl, you know you can crack the rock. I lack the flaws that these rappers that you had to call your favorite. No, I ain't mad at all, knowing that I'ma be in your catalog, repeating the bangers of my dad to blog. She tried to give me red flags, so I turned into a matador. Leader of my squad, the ambassador. Brothers by my side is who I'm blasting for. Don't start the beef, K9 carnivores who I'm starving for. Opposition on the bottom floor, and no, I'm not trying to cause a threat. Just never let them know your daily steps, especially if it is your next. They'll at first just call you the best. No, they ain't never say it with their chest. They don't mean it, oh well, I guess. Balenci on the fit, I'm gon' flex. No debate, I got motion, no protest. Tryna ride a wave, oh baby, just go fish. Something I bet you wouldn't ever notice is that I'm the next best thing since rolling. Shining like a diamond in the rough with a gold tint. Nothing you've seen before, can't ever forget. Forfeit, I'm up in a metamorphosis. Transforming, you can't ever clone this. Just own it, and you stay in bogus while I'm steady focused. Hocus pocus. And she's over there, yes, she's a black cat. Eyeing me in the play like she was a halfback. Scratch that, she's probably posting all the hashtags. Has a little dress with a black mask. Eyes are so appealing, back to the hotel like it's cash cap. She wanted cash grab, she started having flashbacks, saying she dreamed of this day, so I had to backtrack. Said, oh baby, don't get laughed at. It can't be my fault, my hard work gave me all of the cash back. You think I'm falling for the cat trap, cause I got a backpack with a raft pack. We forever get the last laugh. Didn't think you were who I expected. Last night was wild, but I can't be guessing. For a second, there's a lesson and a story that I've referenced. And yo, it was crazy last night, I met me a little dancer. Back to the hotel we go, the East Tropicana. She saw my swag and couldn't help to banter. Had a lot of questions, but I didn't give an answer. It was crazy last night, I met me a little dancer. Back to the hotel we go, the East Tropicana. She saw my swag and couldn't help to banter. Had a lot of questions, but I didn't give an answer. Crazy night, I met me a little dancer. Back hotel we go, the East Trop. She swag and couldn't help to banter. Had a lot of questions, but I didn't give an answer. Crazy night, I met me a little dancer. Back hotel we go, the East Trop. She swag and couldn't help to banter. Had a lot of questions, but I didn't give an answer.
Yeah. That's my man D-Lo, y'all. D-Lo. Yep, Las Vegas artist right there. That brother's dope. And he be spitting straight off the dome. I'm talking about straight off the dome. You know, right now, though, family, I want to get into this interview with my man, John Edmond, because I can go on and on about this shit. You know what I'm saying? About the millions of dollars that they owed the government and the people that gave them the money. And now they got to pay those people back, plus a return interest from what my sources told me. Listen, I can go on and on and on about this shit. And I don't want to do that because I got to get to John Edmond. John Edmond, he was one of the guys that he gave me a place to my first basic club, I guess you can say. He basically gave me my first club on the west side, okay, in the 89106, to where the kids could actually walk to the club and come and kick it and have some fun. And it was packed inside of the Heritage Hall. John Edmond, this is the man that put me in that building, and Smooth C, which is also known as Craig Knight. Yeah, Craig Knight. John Edmond put that brother on, and he didn't even have the nerve to put the brother on the documentary that they trying to claim cost $200 and some thousand, which when I seen didn't cost that kind of money. And I've done plenty of videos, and I seen that shit. I know that didn't cost no motherfucking $200 and some $1,000 to make that video. Come on, people. Trust me. That didn't cost no motherfucking $200 and some thousand. All right, but right now, what I want to do, I'll be right back. But I'm going to John Edmond right now because John's waiting, and I sat down with this brother back in March and did this interview with him. Okay, and he bumped heads with Larry Weekly, so I want him to come on in and let you guys know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's Las Vegas Boulevard with your big homie Stacy G. Let's get into this interview with my man John Edmond, a pillar in the Vegas community and a land developer. All right, it's Las Vegas Boulevard. Your big homie Stacy G. I'm sitting here with a pillar of the Las Vegas community, a land developer. That's right, y'all. He gave jobs
to black people in the black community. He's been doing that ever since I've known him. Ever since I've known the brother put me to work. He goes by the name of John Edmond. John Edmond, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, Stacey.
Welcome to Las Vegas Boulevard.
Thank you. Yeah, nice little spot you got here, buddy.
Well, you know, we trying.
I got it.
We definitely trying, man. Listen, I am very glad that you reached out to me to share your story about KCEP and the run-in you had with Larry Weekly. Because I know there's a lot of people that are scared to speak out against his brother because of his political position that he had. But I'm one of those guys that I don't care nothing about it, and I told him that. I met with him, I told him I don't care nothing about your political position. That don't scare me. The people you know don't scare me. What I'm pissed off about with these guys is they're trying to change history, and they're really not for the Vegas community. They are self-serving. So what I wanted to ask you, Mr. Edmond, is I know that you own the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center.
Correct.
Which was known as the Golden West Shopping Center at first. And you had the John Edmond Town Center across the street from the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center as well. You bought that one from Magic Johnson.
Correct.
Okay. Now, with 88.1, KCP, we're going to start there first.
Yeah, that's
KCP.
a good place to start.
Yeah, we'll start there first. Because I saw their documentary.
I didn't see the documentary only because I had talked to the general manager a couple of times. And somehow, no matter what I was telling him, he wasn't really kind of listening or didn't really want to do it right. And, you know, I'm probably glad that we're doing the podcast on getting history right.
Yes.
Because part of what seems to happen in Las Vegas as it relates to black history, a lot of it is not correct or is kind of one-sided.
Exactly.
And so forth and so on.
Yes.
So while I'm still here, because I know it would never be told if I wasn't.
There you go. Now listen,
I'm
I'm not with the one-sided thing. I'm with the not telling the truth. That's what I believe. I'm not the one-sided because it's the not telling the truth part.
Okay.
That's what I'm with. I'm just saying. I'm saying you've been a little too easy on them. It's all. You know, you've been a little too easy.
Let's start. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. KCEP.
KCEP. Now, how did without you? Let's say this before you go there. Without this man, without John Edmond, KCEP would not even be existing.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, tell the people what happened to KCEP to where you had to take over and put them up so they can still continue to function.
Right. Well, you know, and I think some of this, you know, how history kind of unfold itself and then come back around. For example, when Nucleus Plaza, that's my corporation, purchased the Golden West Shopping Center, EOB was funded by, KCEP was funded by EOB.
Okay. Try not to hit the table because it's gonna come through on their microphone. You know that microphone gonna pick up everything. If you got to tap your leg. The mic picks it all up, man.
So when I purchased Golden West Shopping Center, EOB had just folded.
Okay.
They had taken the financing away, so
now the government took the financing.
Took the financing away.
Okay.
It was a government-funded EOB, and part of EOB, besides all the other programs that was involved as it relates to training and child care and other different things, they had KCEP inside of the shopping center.
Gotcha.
Okay, so once they folded, KCEP had no place to go. It had no home, had no money, had no financing, nothing of that nature. And Dr. Jazz was one of the late night jazz guy, and was Lee, what's Lee's name?
David Lee?
David Lee.
David Lee, okay, yeah. I remember David Lee and those guys, yeah.
And Gino Barmore,
yeah,
and a couple of the other ones. They had nowhere to continue the operating out of. Okay. So their funding was taken. So what I did was I just purchased a shopping center. Mm-hmm. So where the Heritage Hall, that's why I was saying how you maybe could relate to, because Heritage Hall is where you got hired.
Yes, the banquet room, that big banquet room, man, that was the shit. I don't care what nobody say. Fuck the dumb shit. The Heritage Hall was the fucking place to be.
So keep in mind, KCEP was in the Heritage Hall, but it was a space where EOB functioned out. It was a big space and plenty of different programs, but KCP was one of the programs.
Gotcha.
So, of course, when they closed, when they shut down, the government took the funding away and they shut down. KCP didn't have a home.
Gotcha.
They had nowhere to operate out of. Mm-hmm. If I would have turned my back on the radio station, there wouldn't have been, just like you said, there wouldn't have been no KCP.
Let me ask you this. Now, you said they took the funds away. Now, why did that happen?
Well, there's all kinds of stories about misuse of funds, misappropriation, and all of that from the administration point of view. So,
yes.
So the government came in. I guess they found a lot of things that was happening within side of management of KCP.
Yes,
because KCP did ring for a very long time. I mean, it was there 20 years or more.
Yes.
So, and then over 20 years span, people have a tendency to now start doing things that they ain't got no business.
Self-serving. That's self-serving. Even in those board positions, people are self-serving. So what you're saying is, what I've been saying is going on today, right now, is the misappropriation of funds.
Right. Well, I don't know what's happening, right?
No, I do. I know you don't know. I know you don't know. Because you've been out of the game, but I know what's going on right now, and that's what I've been saying: the misappropriation of funds. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. They never, ever have a budget for anything, but they're getting money from the government, and I've got the numbers. I've got the exact numbers for the last 4 years that they got from the government. Even the numbers I got. Listen, they got 200 and let me see. I think it was like 236,000 because I don't have the number right in front of me right now, but it's $200 and something $1,000 that they got to do that the documentary, the 50th documentary. Now, if you see that documentary, it is nowhere near worth $200,000. It may be $10,000 at the most.
Yeah. So I didn't see it, and I'd heard about it, and I just knew that. Because of the administrators within KCEP, that there was a lot of not accuracies in there. Because a few times they have had like the 45th anniversary and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And I didn't go to any of those either.
Me neither.
But
I didn't either.
But nevertheless, so now let's take it from the beginning. All right. So they had no home. KCP had no place to go, no place to operate out of, and no funding. So what I did was allow them to, since I done bought the shopping center, allow them to operate out of my office for 6 months, a year. I can't remember how long. There was a point that came down to where they needed more antenna or more. Okay. So then we end up getting them a trailer, and that trailer set right out on the corner right there.
Yes.
Of Owens and H.
And H, right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
In the trailer. All right. So, and then they still hadn't gotten refinanced, and so there was a group of us, business people, and Sam Armstrong was one.
Okay.
Dr. Westfield was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Richardson was another one.
Okay.
So, you know, Lou Richardson was a contractor. Dr. Westfield was our doctor.
Okay.
Sam Armstrong owned Ray and Ross.
Okay.
And Nucleus Plaza with me.
Okay.
So we wanted to purchase KCEP,
Mm-hmm.
but when we found out that because of its license, and it was licensed as a nonprofit station, then because we wanted to do it from a business point of view.
Yes.
You know, and we wasn't able to do it.
Man, I wish you guys would have done that, because it would be in a better position right now today. If you guys had went on ahead and bought that station, I understand it's nonprofit, but you still could have made, because the station was thriving when I was there. And I know, like some of the people that you named, the Gino B's, Gino Baltimore, DC Ryan, those guys mentored me coming up in the game. So, and I love listening to them on the radio, because they were great. They were professionals. They sounded great.
Yeah, they
you
did.
know, and with those guys showing me the ropes, and with you bringing me in, letting me turn your banquet room, the Heritage Hall, into a teenage nightclub every Friday, with you letting me do that, that gave me a business sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, because you opened the door for me when it comes to a nightclubbing, because I was going to everybody else's parties and DJing on their stuff, until you gave me a place to where, okay, well, you guys come in here, you can do this, you can do that on Friday nights, and bam, now we got a teenage nightclub on Friday nights in Las Vegas on the west side.
Yeah. So let's say that probably at least a couple of years from the time that it went out of business, from the time that it moved in the trailer behind West Side School. So I don't know, when they talk about the documentary, I'm assuming that's where they take up. That's where AOB was.
Right.
Instead of even mentioning the fact of where AOB came from.
Where it came from, exactly.
And so, yeah. So,
they didn't do that, because when I saw it, they did not mention that. And that's what fucked me up. You weren't in the video. You weren't in that movie. How is it that you weren't in the movie and you saved the station?
Well, you know, there's some other things of how I wasn't doing what, you know, like Nucleus has probably spent maybe $20 million in development in the community.
Okay.
And guess what? You know, the Martin Luther King parade.
Yes.
I have never been asked to be, what is that?
Marshal? To be
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal, okay.
Never. As much as I've done in the community. And, you know, then there was another thing to where there was a lady that came around.
Wendell didn't even call you in. Wendell P. Williams didn't even call you in?
Because, you know, the Lawrence Weekly is a part of that, you know.
They got their little boule going.
Yeah.
You know, but then I said that about Wendell, because Wendell's been pretty good with me.
Wendell's a good guy. You know, I mean, he told me all kind of stories about his relationship with Weekly, but that's, you know, beside the point.
Yeah.
But you know, you just, some of the things that, you know, like for, in my case, for example, you know, they did a book, like the 100 most influential people that did things and brought about, you know, different movement in Black history of Las Vegas. Guess who's not in the book?
You.
John Edmond.
See.
Why? Because they went to the county, I guess, and tried to get information on who's who,
right,
Blacks in Vegas, and John Edmond was not part of it.
That's because Larry Weekly. I know why. That's a Larry
correct,
Weekly. That's a Larry Weekly move, because he's trying to change the way history is in Vegas, so it makes it look like he is the guy that did this and did that. And the same with Craig. That's why they didn't want you in that documentary, to tell the truth about KCP and why we have it today, because it would have changed the narrative from what they supposedly had done with the station and from what you actually did for the station.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's true. I mean, and you would think, you know, Craig because it's like there's nothing between Craig and I, and Craig, as you was telling me, because I thought that because Gladys Knight, Elizabeth Knight, and his mom helped us put together the Heritage Hall,
right? No,
that
had nothing to do with Craig.
Came through Gladys.
No.
But you said that you the one
came through me. Craig came into this game through me. Period. Into the Las Vegas game for his entertainment, DJing, and all that rapping. He came in through me. He came into KCP through me.
Okay.
He came and started DJing at the Heritage when you started letting me do the Heritage Hall. Turn that into the teenage club. He came in. I had just let him join because he begged me to join my club. He was begging, man, please let me be a part of your team. He wanted to be with Stacey G and the POP so bad because I turned him down a few times, and I finally let him in, and he came in. That's when Pharaoh came to you and told you about it. Yeah, exactly. and that's how we came, because Pharaoh was my manager at that time, and I was still at Chaparral. I was still in high school. So Pharaoh came to me and said, hey, man, I want to manage you. And I was like, really? I said, okay. I said, well, man, I'm trying to find a place where I could I can throw my own parties, man. We need a club. And he said, well, I might have a spot. And that's when he came to you, and you was like, okay, let's do it. And you was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, okay, this shit is finna be dope. This is finna be dope. And we rocked the house.
Yeah.
And
it was good. It was a great little move. And, and let's say that the parking lot, you would only have like 5 or 6 cars in the parking lot.
Right.
But remember, it was a teenage thing.
It's a teenage thing.
But there was, you tell me how many people was in there.
Hey, listen, every week we had that place full. And then, the parking lot started getting fuller because then once people started knowing about it, the white kids started coming to that side of town. So that's when the parking lot started getting full and Metro started coming in. Right. Okay, where are all these little white kids coming from?
Exactly.
And that was because I was going to the different schools. Being that I was still in high school, I was able to get on campus and pass out the flyers to the different schools. But the biggest crowd that started with us was the crowd on the west side.
When the thing is over, kids is walking around.
Exactly.
Kids walking down the hill down there. Kids is walking.
Yes.
But
that was because of you. I mean, I brought the kids, but you actually made that happen for us.
Yeah.
All the people that came up and that was coming to the parties that I was doing there, they owe thanks to you like I do.
Yeah,
Craig really does, because and see, that's what fucks me up, because it's like, dude, this dude knows that you were the man that gave us a spot to throw parties.
Yeah,
and
for you guys to get started in what you're doing, perhaps even today.
Exactly, and I bring the guy into the game, and he stabbed me in the back, so I know that he didn't put you in this video, because I didn't see you nowhere in there, and that shocked me. Yeah. I didn't see you in that movie, this documentary. I'm like, how in the hell do you not have John Edmond in the documentary? This guy sitting right here was one of the guys that put us on, but you won't have him in the documentary. That is crazy.
Isn't that something? I mean, now you see what I'm saying? That's when I talk about when it comes to history and not writing the real history truth.
Yes.
And that, it's sad, but I don't know. That's a little black Las Vegas politics, I guess.
Yes, it's like you said. It's like those guys get in position and they want to tell their side of the story and not the real story. The people that actually helped them get in positions to do what they were doing, like the Larry Weekleys. He won't tell how he actually got in the position, because he thinks that he just did it. He picked himself up by the bootstraps and he just dug in and dug hard and all that shit. Because when I met with him, he came to me like a politician. Mm-hmm. When I met with him, I think it was like last month I met with him. He came to me like a politician trying to tell me his story. Well, my mother abandoned me when I was a baby, and this, and I'm like, well, dude, that's a great story to tell people that you're trying to get to vote for you.
Right. Well,
but you know what I mean. But
more though, so I don't know why you want to continue to go on with the
because the sympathy.
Politics.
sympathy, man. See, he's looking for sympathy, John. He's looking for sympathy. That's why would he come to me with that? It's like, dude, I know you. I'm born and raised here. So you know I know you. You telling me about your mother abandoning you. I say, well, welcome to the club of all the other people whose mother abandoned them. I know people whose mother abandoned them and she never left the house because of crack. But she didn't give a damn about the kids. The kids didn't eat. The kids didn't do that. She didn't pay the bill. She didn't pay the light bill. She didn't do nothing. But she was in the house with the kid, but it's like she wasn't there because she wasn't taking care of the kids. Okay. But you want to tell me your story because your mother abandoned you. Well, she left you with somebody that actually took care of you and paid the bills and did this and did that for you. Yeah. So these other kids didn't have that. So you're looking for sympathy from me, and I'm not going to give you sympathy because we're not playing politics here. We're talking about stuff that you're supposed to be doing for the community. Yeah. The KCP is supposed to be here for us. It's supposed to bring us together as a community. The station is. Yeah. And back in the day, it did. Yeah. It did. Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. And now it doesn't do that. It lost all the listeners. It lost all the revenue. And the business people don't do business with the station. And they're trying to figure out why they can't get people to come in and support the station because the community don't feel like it's their station. And I know you're a part of the community. Do you feel like that's your station? Do you feel like KCP? I mean, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you like this. See, you don't even listen to it.
Maybe sometimes when I think about the day is Thursday.
That's bad.
I might, but not on a regular basis.
John, that's bad.
You know.
He said maybe sometimes, y'all. Maybe sometimes. If I think about it, it's a Thursday. I might. Maybe sometimes. That's not good. That is not good. People was always listening to KCP. When they came to town, the first station they hit was KCP. When you driving in, you got, let's put that on 88. Boom, boom.
That's true, yeah.
Now they don't do that. And that's because they don't feel like it's their station. Do you feel like it was worth saving the station now? That when you save the station like you did and in the position it is in right now, the direction it has went to, and knowing the people that's in charge is not doing what they're supposed to be doing for the community with the station, do you feel like it was worth saving?
Well, of course, because it was, it's the voice for the community. So you can't say that I didn't feel like, what I was able to save the station. Right. I mean, so that's kind of not the right question. It's a matter of, at some point, the station, if the station, the real truth about the station and the real truth about how the format was and how the format perhaps could be in order to change the station to a degree to where it do start serving the people and where the people do start, listening back in because it's got substance,
yes,
then that's what it should happen. So,
but how does that happen if the people in charge are self-serving and they don't want to get out of those spots? Well, so how does that happen?
It won't happen. Until some pressure is put on the station to make changes, to rearrange changes. One of the things that I can't see that is constantly being flowed through, and that is, weekly, and the fact that if he is still like in control, but it's funded by the county, then why not, let's say, whoever an elected official for that particular area
district
is the chairman, not the chairman of KCEP.
And that's what I thought it was supposed to be, because I was figuring, okay, well, Larry came in as the chairman in the early 2000s. Because first he was the vice chairman, and then he came in and became the chairman. I believe he was the commissioner at that time when he became the chairman.
See, so, and by it being funded by the county, it makes sense.
Because it's a conflict of interest for him to still be sitting in that seat.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Well, it is. That's a conflict of interest for you to be, and you're not the commissioner.
Yeah,
because it's got to be a bipartisan person there, right?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, really, that's the way that it actually should be operated.
Yeah.
Whoever wins to become the county commissioner in that ward, in that district, that should be one of the positions that they take.
Yeah. Well, I'm here right now to put that pressure on.
Well,
that's why we're sitting here right now today talking about this, because we both
that's
know
the way it should be, though. I mean, it just should be either part of the law, or part of the rules,
Yes.
or part of history, or part of the community.
Yes.
Let's say the community should actually, want that to happen.
They do, but see, what a lot of people don't understand was some of the people that moved here don't understand is that certain people were scared of Larry Weekly because of his political position and the people that he know in political position, so they won't speak out against him.
That's just in the best interest for the community.
Well, it's not against him, but he looks at it like it's against him, because it's definitely in the best interest of the community,
Right.
But he's not going to look at it that way. Because if it was really for the best interest of the community, the station wouldn't be in the position that it's in right now. You know what I mean? He's already told me. The man has already told me personally, and I got this on tape. He told me that he wasn't paying attention to KCP like he was supposed to be. That's why Craig is able to run amok doing what he's doing. I'm like, really? I say, well, I don't see nothing business about that. How do you keep track of the money if you're not paying attention? That's what I want to know. How do you keep track of the revenues coming in or not coming in if you're not paying attention to the station? Because any other general manager wouldn't last for 18 years and there's no money coming in. You know what I mean? You lost all your listeners, you lost your revenue. So by a year and a half, you would have been gone as a general manager. Any company, I don't care what company you is, because the bottom line is to make money. Even if you're a nonprofit organization, the bottom line is to make money. And I understand you can only make so much money, and you can't compete with a commercial station, being that you're a nonprofit organization or a public radio station. You can't compete with the commercial stations, but you can make the money because you keep the money working. You get you hire people. And you get the station to the point to where it's doing really good with that extra money coming in. So instead of just trying to pocket the money, you can recycle that money back into the station to get it to advance. Like the city's growing, the station should be growing.
Yeah, that is true. Now there was Sherman Rutledge. What happened to him? I mean, he was the general manager there.
Sherman Rutledge.
Quite a while. I mean,
yes, he was.
So it ain't like you can't change. It can't change.
That's true. Sherman came in at 93, and he lasted for about 8 years or so. Craig lasted 18 years. He's got 18 years of doing nothing. But the station was thriving when Sherman was there still.
Yeah.
But once they started switching management and things of that nature, that's when things started going downhill. Okay, so Sherman was there. Yes, he was, but Sherman was doing things at the station to mess up the history of the station.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about any of that, any function of any of that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about what's happened. I'm just kind of laying out basically what I do know about.
Yeah. Well, like I say, Sherman was there. You're right about that. He was there. Al Johnson was there. Yeah. Al Johnson was there for a long time because he was there when we started doing the Teenage Live Remotes.
Right.
So he was there through the early 80s to the 90s until like 93. That's when, actually 92, 91, 92, because LC took over as interim our acting general manager and PD. And then they brought in Sherman in 93. Okay. That's how that happened. But yeah, the station can thrive because I've seen it thrive. I've seen the money that it was making. Now they don't even charge to get into live remotes, so they don't get that donation. The live remotes is free. So I'm trying to figure out how they're going to make money doing that if you're not going to get the entry donation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've never did a live remote to where it was free. All their functions now are free. So it's like, how do you make money? How are you making revenue? How are you going to be able to implement all these different programs that you should be implementing if there's not money coming through the door? Yeah. You know what I mean? And the money that you get for the government, okay, the stabilization checks that you get from the government, how is that going to work? If you putting that money in your pocket and you're only using so much of it to do the programs that you're supposed to be doing, because you're licensed to do certain programs in the community, and if you're not doing that, then that right there calls for a purpose for your license to be reviewed.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all in workings that I guess you and
yes. These are things. Yes, these are things that I'm bringing to the table.
To kind of, see a difference in the community.
Yes, that. And like I say, the people in the community they won't speak up on this stuff because they were scared of Larry Weekly. But a lot of people tell me when I see them to this very day, hey man, listen, I'm glad you're saying what you see. I'm glad you're speaking out on this. Well, I tell them somebody got to. Somebody has to, and I'm going to be the motherfucker to do it.
Yeah, I just hate the fact that, the real truth about the existence of the station has been left out. That's, that's really, it's heartwarming that the fact that it's not, the truth hasn't really been told.
Right.
The existence of KCP right to this day and what kept it from not completely folding.
Okay. Mr. Edmond.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about, because I know you and Larry Weekly bumped heads. Now, I want to ask you, in what way did you bump heads with Larry Weekly?
I don't know how we bumped heads. I just, I know that we have no love for each other.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
But there's just been incidents that has taken place as it relates to the community and development that, we just didn't seem to
see eye to
eye on the way stuff develops in the community.
Right. Well, I think that's not just you. I think that's a lot of people in the community say they had to bump heads with him over certain things and that's supposed to be happening in the community. So what exactly happened to where you guys bumped heads, though? I mean, something happened to where you guys bumped heads. Like I said, I know that you had the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center.
Right.
And I know that you had the Edmond Town Center across the street from the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center because you bought I bought
the Magic Westland Plaza.
Right, exactly.
And what had happened was that the Magic Westland Plaza was sitting on 10.5 acres of land.
Okay.
That whole land strip was actually owned by the city.
Okay.
And when I say owned by the city had recovered the land from EDA, which is, where I ended up working for EDA.
Okay.
In the last job that I had.
Okay.
But back in the day, the city had acquired that whole strip. So there was a time when the city wanted to develop the empty parcel of land.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the city wanted to develop several portions of land that the city owned that they really got from the federal government through EDA.
Okay.
The land next to Magic Westland Plaza, which was 10.5 acres.
Okay. Now that was owned by Magic Johnson?
No, it was owned by the city.
By the
Magic
city?
Johnson owned the funds.
Okay, so he only owned the funds.
Actually, and theoretically, Magic Johnson didn't own it. It was a dude by the name of Raw Waters that actually owned the shopping center, built the shopping center.
Gotcha.
And because it had happened during the course of the Rodney King riot, so the city and, white people that say that if we can put maybe a black name on the shopping center, that'll maybe be something that the community will accept and
Gotcha.
tear up in their opinion.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
that's how Magic Johnson's name got tied to it.
Okay. Okay.
Some more history that you probably
Now, see, I didn't know that. Yeah, that is something I did not know.
Yeah, the developer's name was Wall Walters.
Wall Walters.
Yeah.
So he was the actual owner of that, not Magic Johnson. They just put Magic's name there just for the sake of it not being torn down.
Yeah, in other words, because the riot,
Right.
the king, and
Right.
stuff that all that.
Because they didn't know that you owned the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center during the Rodney King riot, so they started burning up a part of the shopping center, right?
Well, actually, so what happened was that I had a Korean grocery store on the end.
On the end. Was it Super 8, Big 8, or one?
Big 8.
Big 8.
Big 8 supermarket there on the end. And when I first bought it was Dale and his partner that owned it. And then they ended up selling it to a Korean guy,
Okay.
Kim.
Okay.
So during the Martin Luther King, during the Rodney King riot, well, from California, and what it's kind of started the riot that had to do with a Korean that had shot and killed a girl that had stole a popsicle or something out of the store. It kind of, so all of that, kind of, came
built up.
to,
Came to a head, built up on them.
Yeah. And so I'm out there. I'm out at the shopping center. And so the security guards tell Kim, said, man, you need to get up out of here, man, because it's just a lot of stuff going on out there, a lot of wrong. And, people kind of running up and down the street at first, and kind of, and so they did. They got Kim out of there, and then next thing you know, a crowd of people started trying to break in the door. And then one thing led to another. He had a plexiglass door, but they ended up breaking through the door, getting in, looting, and then Molotov cocktail, and it goes up and smoke. And again, a lot of people was not under the impression that I owned it.
Exactly.
They felt that the Korean store guy owned the store.
Right. Exactly.
No, the Korean guy is a tenant.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people did come and call and apologize for what had happened after the fact.
Right.
The fact that their anger was towards the Korean store owner, not so much towards Nucleus Plaza.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember because I used to shop at that store myself.
Yeah, it was the store in the community. But going on to Lawrence Weekly, and he's a city councilman. So they had put a bid out, a RFP proposal, request for proposal, to develop the empty portions of land that the city now acquired through EDA, through the government. That land happened to be the 10.5 acres that was next to the Vons. And then there was about another 10, 12, 15 acres of land that was on Martin Luther King. All the land that was behind the McDonald's there on Martin Luther King and Lake Mead, all that city-owned land where now they got that
FBI building
Legacy
there.
Park and all that. Didn't go back that far, but mostly all of that for Legacy Park, all the way up to the land across the street, the city-owned.
Right, gotcha.
Okay. So in the RFP, I end up winning to develop all of those parcels.
Okay.
All right. So now, and I put like a $50,000 deposit up on the land on MLK.
Okay.
And I had also put a deposit up on the land next to Magic Western Plaza or the Bonds.
Gotcha.
To develop.
Okay.
And so in the process of trying to get it developed, so Lawrence Weekly, what he decided that he all of a sudden now don't want Nucleus to develop the property. He doesn't want it.
He does.
Why you don't want it? There's no real reason why. I mean, the city manager, city staff, none of these people could just figure out what seemed to be his problem.
Okay.
So now they sent me cease and
desist.
Letter.
Okay.
That either I had to develop the land behind the McDonald's, or turn it back into the city. Now, mind you, the land was in Nucleus Investments' name, but
Now you're talking about the land behind the McDonald's on Lake Mead.
On Lake Mead.
Okay.
Now I'd already started on the land, the Edmontown Center land.
Okay.
Which is the land next to Bonds, that 10.5 acres.
Gotcha.
But I'm now got the rights to develop all of this stuff on the west side.
Right.
So I would say, theoretically looking at it today, Lawrence Weekly probably cost me, I don't know, $15-20 million.
Yeah.
If people don't realize, nobody don't even know the story.
Yeah, because that's a lot of land right there, man, and it needed to definitely be developed.
Yeah.
And no better person than you.
Yeah, I mean, had already been developing my money up.
Yes.
And of course, at one time I had like 35, 40 employees.
Now, didn't they have to bring this to a vote?
Yeah. So the Edmonton centerpiece. Now we just started to develop Edmonton Center.
Okay.
The land on MLK and Martin
Lake Mead.
They didn't have to take that by the city vote. They just sent me a letter to tell me that either I got to pay now like the full $300 and some odd $1,000 for the land.
Okay.
Or they're going to take the land back.
Take the land back. Gotcha.
Okay. The interesting one though is the Edmonton Center piece. So now, I done spent like $300,000 for drawings.
Okay.
And started to develop the land. And once I started shoving dirt, Lawrence Weekly wanted the land back. He wanted the land back. He wanted the land back. So end up now, but I done already invested like close to $300,000 or $400,000 in just the between the drawings and the prep work and all of that stuff.
Right.
But exactly. He wanted the city to take the land back.
Right.
All right. So now we had to end up taking the city and Lawrence Weekly to court.
Okay.
So I think this is why the guy don't like me to this day, perhaps.
Okay.
Because now we end up having to take the city to court to develop Edmonton Center, to develop the largest piece of commercial real estate in the community.
Okay.
Lawrence Weekly don't want it done. So the city now. So now we go to court. Okay. So the judge asked the city lawyers, so why not this development? Okay. Well, the city want the community to decide. The community to decide, because now we got up in before the court, and we got all of the tenants. We got a check for $18 $18 million to start the development. So in other words, we got tenants, we got the money up, we have started on, we broke ground. We've started developing the property, and the city don't want it. Well, Lawrence Weekly don't want it.
Lawrence Weekly don't want this.
So so it goes further to where the judge decided that this is just too much. It's too much. That hurting the community is just not right. But my judgment is to take it back before the city council. Okay. So the city then so now we end up having to take it back to city council for approval.
Okay.
So now we get up, and we show city council the cashier's check made out for the property, $18 million cashier's check. Mm-hmm. We show them we got EB Games, we got the bank, we got Foot Locker, we have Sally's Beauty, we got we got Family Dollar, we got the shopping center, the one now Edmond that we're going to build. Mm-hmm. We got Citibank. We got all of this stuff we got in place with leases. Okay. If we build Edmond Town Center.
Gotcha. So all the spaces the tenants was basically we already had
85-90% of the space was already leased up.
Gotcha.
Pre-leased. Okay. So now we show all of this to the city council and the mayor at that time, which was Mayor Goodman. Okay. And as we now trying to get a vote and we have started construction. So it ain't like, it's just raw land. We got bulldozers over on the land.
Right.
Okay. Caterpillars and all, we just start moving dirt.
Right.
So as now we asking the city council, could we continue to building out Edmond Town Center? There was opposition by Lawrence Weekly. Okay. So now Larry Brown, who was a city councilman, he ended up going on to become a county commissioner as well. Okay. He was a city councilman. So he was the very first one that said, man, with all of this they showing here, and lots of times, and especially in that area, an $18 million cashier's check to develop.
Right.
Why don't the city want it?
Right.
It seems like something personal to me.
Sounds like it to me.
So he said, I vote that the property be continued to develop, that Nucleus Plaza at John Edmond to continue to develop it. Okay. So he was the first one to vote for the continued development.
Okay, well, good for Larry Brown.
Woofter, who's the attorney general, attorney, Woofter, was the second guy. Okay, and he says, man, it's just that community really could use this lick that Edmond them is trying to do over that community.
Yes,
I vote second.
Okay.
And then the next one was there was a third one, the guy that was a barber. I can't think of his name right now. But he was the third guy that says, well, I see that it got 2 votes already. And so he kind of pitter-pattered around, and then the mayor stepped in and said, he looks at Lawrence, and he asked Lawrence, he said, Lawrence, man, it's just too much on the table, man.
Right.
This should city council, but it's in his ward, so the mayor giving him respect.
Right.
To
change your mind, hey man.
Change your mind.
Yeah.
So Lawrence Weekly says, I don't care what y'all do, but not. He can't get my vote. But the mayor then voted, and then the rest of them voted to let the property be developed.
Right.
But his right now, I guarantee you, pull up the record that Lawrence Weekly was opposed to Edmond Town Center, that development happening there on H and Orange.
Okay, but see now, that's a shame.
Yeah, sure.
Because and here's a guy that says he's for the community.
Right.
So if you're for the community, why would you try to stop a development like this from happening that's going to bring jobs into the community? And like you said, all the other city councilmen and the mayor voted for this project to happen.
That's how it happened.
So, and it took Larry Weekly to vote against it. Why? What did he want, a kickback or something?
No, I don't. You know, he just being Larry Weekly.
Well, I mean, come on, man. I'm with the mayor and everybody else. This shit sounds personal to me.
Anybody that's listening to the thing, they can ask him, say, man, how, you know, that Edmond Townsend, I seen that, I heard the broadcast, Kcep's broadcast, and I'm curious to know why you didn't want the shopping center developed over there on 8th.
I want to know that.
Well, then
I would like to know why the fuck wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't want the Edmond Town Center to come up right in the community, in the 106, 89106, right there, and this is your district,
right?
So why wouldn't you want this to happen? If you're bringing jobs, if you're going to bring jobs to your district, if this means that people in the community don't have to drive cars to go to work,
to the grocery store, to go to
right.
You know, right. I mean, we had, we had 90% national tenants that would have been in the community.
And this is Larry Weekly, the guy that's trying to change the narrative on how the history of the West Side was created and put together, and the development of it. Excuse me, the development of the West Side. He's trying to change the narrative of the history of that, along with Craig trying to change the narrative of the history of the radio station. So they're trying to do both, because they tried to do it with me, and I'm not going to say today with Craig, but Larry definitely tried to do it with me with the radio station. So, well, if it wasn't for me, the radio, I say that's bullshit. I told him straight in his face, that's bullshit, and don't you be telling motherfuckers that shit, because that's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for John Edmond, and I got witnesses, because I wasn't the only one at this meeting. There was some more people in the community at this meeting. Yeah. And I told him, I say, that's bullshit. I know the history of the radio station. If it wasn't for John, we wouldn't have KCP. And I told him this to his face. All he could do was, and I'm like, I don't care about you rolling your eyes. I don't care about none of that, dude. I'm not going to let you change the history of this fucking station.
On that vote, that third guy was Gary Reese.
Gary Reese. Okay.
Yeah, he was the third guy. And he just said, you know, it seemed like I'm being outvoted in it, because he was going to go along with Lawrence.
Ah.
It seemed like I'm getting outvoted. So he voted for it.
Yes.
You know, of course, the mayor voted for it.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Because Larry want people on his team. Larry want yes men. See, I do know that. That's why Craig's in the position still today, because he wants yes men.
I'm sure of that.
You know, they don't want nobody that's going to come in there and actually change the station, do good for the station, and bring the station back to the standards of the community like it's supposed to be. They want it to be what they want it to be, and their friends basically get all the advantages of the station, not the community, just their friends.
Yeah,
that's who's getting the advantage of KCP. You know, and when it comes to the Edmond Town Center, Larry Weekly don't want it. I believe he don't want it because he wasn't getting nothing out of it. Yep. Now, whatever that personal reason is, because everybody says, and from the story you just told me, that sounds personal. That don't sound like it's a business move.
That's what Larry Brown said, man. It seemed like something personal to me. I mean, it ain't like I could understand it if they're coming up and asking us to give them something.
Right.
All they want is the opportunity to develop something to bring to the community, something that the community couldn't even thought about. Nobody would be able to do anything like that.
And it's in your district. And I mean, like, how in the fuck can you turn that down something that's in your district that's going to be good for the community? That's what I don't understand. That's what's throwing me right there. And the first thing he brags about is what he does for other people. Yeah. Well, that's my job. I do this for other people. I do this for other people. I don't do it for me. I do it for the good of other people. But other people are telling me personally different.
Well, it's like
even you just sat here and told me differently. You ain't doing it for the community because he just tried to not get you to develop the Edmond Town Center, but it was supposed to be for the community.
He just about turned away $18 million investment.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yes, he just about, and then of course he ended up taking the other land back to the city, the other portion of land on MLK.
Yeah.
He did take that. So
I'm sure.
Like, this guy probably cost me, $18, $20 million.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
and I'm sure.
So how can I have real love for the guy?
Exactly.
I don't have, if I see him, I'll casually, I'll speak sometime.
Right.
I notice that he'll have a tendency to, if he see me, he'll either leave soon if we're in the same room or something of that nature. Or
yes.
He definitely won't come near me.
Yes.
Because he got to have somewhat of a guilty conscience if he's human.
Well,
he got to have some kind of guilt trip that,
yes.
Yes. As far as I'm concerned, it's over and done. And, we was able to at least bring something that the community never could possibly think could happen in the community.
Yeah. Well, Larry wants to be the smartest guy in the room. See, that's his thing. And because what he does to you, he does with me. Well, he was doing with me, but I think he's doing it differently now. But he was doing with me, and I told him. See, because I tell him, like I tell this to his motherfucking face. I don't give a fuck about his politics and who he know. I tell him to his face, look, dude, you don't like me, I don't like you. You know what? And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you not liking me because you don't do shit for me. Plain and simple. You don't feed me, you don't pay my bills and all that. So I don't give a damn about you not liking me. So in public, Stacey, because he said, Stacey, I don't know why you going off on me like this because I never do. I thought we was cool. I've never done anything. Yeah, you ain't never done in public. You smiled in my face.
He did something to me. So he cost in the community because he cost a lot of jobs, a lot of money, a lot of progress.
Yes.
And the thing, and I say that I prayed that when the county position came open, and they had to choose somebody and they chose Larry to lead the city council to come to go to the county commission.
Yes.
I prayed that happened. Please get him out of the community, out of this war. This guy is, nothing gonna happen economically as long as this guy is have anything to do with something that is good for the community, and especially along the lines of development.
Yes.
Point to something, point to any type of development deal, and let's say if he was on the city councilman for 8, 9, 10 years, whatever, county commissioner for 10, 12 years, point to one thing that he did. Councilman was able to accomplish that really was of any significance.
I'm with you on that one.
And there's just, so can you think about like little
I don't see nothing.
William McCurdy.
Okay,
you see that the development that they just had broke ground on right there next to Nevada Partners.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that, as the commissioner for that area, you should have that you
Thank you.
point to that I'm the one that helped this to become develop in this community. This is why they elected me, to try to make things better and to create jobs and opportunities here in the community.
Yes, sir.
Having to point to some of any of that.
Yeah, and he can't, because I'm with you on that. I said the same thing. Well, tell me what you actually did. Show me what you actually did, because you can't. I don't know what you did.
Right. So
I've seen what other people. I know what John did. I've watched John do things. What have you done? You see what I'm saying? What has Larry Weekly done other than self-served? And I know a lot of people just like you, business people, just like you, that said that Larry Weekly would not help them unless he was able to get a kickback out of the situation.
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't get no kickback.
No.
Talk about kickback.
No, he ain't. I'm just saying. Not you. I'm just saying other business people.
Yeah.
That have businesses. They've told me this. This ain't nothing that I'm just making. This is came from other people to me.
Yeah.
Saying this to me. You know, that he's not really for the community. He ain't really for black people. He ain't trying to help black businesses.
Not
This
the community.
is what they were telling me.
Other point to the fact that he takes kids to to these, expose them to to the black universities and stuff like that. Through he point to some of that. He probably would say that.
Yeah, but it's other people that do that too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on. It's other people that do it better.
But see, the substance is the thing that where
Thank you.
You're a city councilman, county commissioner. Bring some substance to your community.
There you go.
Like all them other county commissioners do for their districts.
There you go. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I want to ask you one more question before we go, and that is, what are you doing now? I know you did your land development back in the day and all that. What is John Edmond doing today that people can be aware of, that's of substance that they can that they might need some help with?
Well, you know that project that's being built there behind Westside School.
Mm-hmm.
That's the community college training center. Okay. I put the $7.5-8 million into that to develop that, and it's probably about maybe a quarter of the way finished right now. Okay. That's great. And I want to dib and dab. I think down there on Jackson Street. I think Jackson Street is the next street that should be developed and turned into something that's going to really bring back a lot of significance for the community.
I think so too, man. I'm with you on that one.
So you can kind of keep an eye out there, because that's my next move.
Okay. I also heard you was doing something with affordable housing.
Yeah, well, Ms. Dunkins, Ruby Dunkins, of course, a lot of people may or may not, especially the broadcasters, but of course, Ms. Dunkins has been around for many, many years, 56 years doing stuff for, women with pregnancy, women, this Head Start program, the welfare rights and stuff of that nature that she was able to accomplish during her tenure, and she ended up getting a senior housing, having built a senior housing community there on Owens and D Street, and she called me up and says, John, I'm in assisted living now. I can't do anymore, but I really would like to see you take that over and make that. And that's now, when I finish operating.
Yep. Now, you heard it from John Edmond himself. Hey, listen, if Larry Weekly is for the community, like he says he's for the community and helping other people, I don't think all the people that are saying what they're saying would be basically kind of saying the same thing. You know what I mean? If Craig Knight was for the community, they wouldn't be sitting around here begging for money right now for KCP. They wouldn't be begging for money because people would already be helping. 18 years. Why would you have to beg for money right now? That's my thing. Why would you have to beg for money right now? What would be that reason that you would be begging for money right now, and you've been in there for 18 years if the community was already with you? Huh? Exactly. Because the misappropriation of fund stuff
and people having to get their money back, and there's never a budget when you always when you I mean you were actually getting money from the government, and there's few other dollars that you were getting from the live remotes and stuff, and the other grants that you might have been getting, you know, because the stuff that I talked about, the money that I talked about, I'm pretty sure that's not all the money you got. But the thing is, where's the money going? Where has the money been going? They'll tell you it's for these different programs, Teen Talk and all that, but how much money does it take to run Teen Talk? Come on now. It doesn't take any to run Teen Talk. See, and that's why I tell you that radio station, I give it about 8 to 10 months, because they got to pay the lease on the building and all that. All that's got to be paid, you know. So, you know, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that with nobody supporting them, the community not behind them, the government not giving them no more money. And then, why would anybody, the big question is, why would anybody even come in there and sponsor the station like that with a big amount of money and keep the same people that's been messing over the money in charge? Now, that's the question. Why would, you got to be a damn fool. Why would anybody do that? If y'all ain't got no money to function right now, all this time, you could have had the community behind you. Now you think it's time for the community to help you as one. But you wasn't as one when you wanted to run amok and just do what you wanted to do. All right? And listen, I ain't going to talk about this shit no more. Not after this episode. We're gonna let that shit go. You know, like I said, y'all do the math on this shit, because the timelines that I gave you of when they were audited and when they owed the government this money and when they brought in Craig and why they brought in Craig. So this other guy that donated the money to help them get out of debt with the government, from what was told to me by a couple of different sources, like I said, at 2 different times, and they are very trustworthy people. He was put in a position to make sure that person got their money back, plus their return on their interest. You know, that's what that was all about, and that's where they seem to be the money's going. The money they get from the government, that seems to be where it's going. Well, that they were getting from the government, and now that they seem to want you to pay that bill. You know, but now listen, if Larry Weekly, Lawrence Beasley, Craig Knight even, they want to come on the show, we can talk about it. You know, tell their side of it. You understand me? But I know that motherfucking Craig Knight, that funky breath motherfucker ain't going to come on there and talk. He ain't want to do that. I'm going to tell you that right now. He is not going to want to do that. Not Craig Knight. Not Craig Knight. He is not going to want to do that, you know. But I'm giving him an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely giving him an opportunity. Lawrence Weekly more than likely ain't going to want to do it either. But I'm giving him an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? I'm definitely giving him an opportunity to come on the Las Vegas Boulevard podcast and speak their piece. Now, I know it's going to be some people that's going to be talking shit. You know, oh, well, Lawrence Weekly is my friend, Craig is my friend, and they this and that. That's fine and dandy. You know, only people that was basically gaining anything from the station was their friends. Their friends. That's it. Their friends was basically in places and talk shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of them was doing talk shows before they got into play. So, like Kimberly Bailey, I know she's been there for a while doing her thing. So I know she ain't got nothing to do with what those guys over there are doing. You know, it's just a sad thing, though, that they're taking that station down like they're taking the station down. It's basically the only radio station, a black radio station, that we ever had here in Vegas other than KVOV back in the 70s, you know. So, like I said, that's why it's near and dear to my heart, because I came up with it, grew up with it, and all that shit, and it taught me how to go on to commercial radio stations like Clear Channel and Desert Sky Media and stuff like that, and Vibe 99.7, and just do what I do. and 1031. Yep. And just do what I do, love doing. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that, you know. So, hey, like I told y'all, man, I'm not gonna hold you up, and we ain't gonna talk about this shit after this episode no more, unless they want to come on here and say some shit, talking about, unless they get real deep and get to talking about I'm lying and shit, you know. Then we can do that and come back and revisit. But after this, no, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let that shit go. Let them do what they do. But like I said, I wasn't gonna give them no names because I like all the people that was involved that basically was trying to help. But you ain't gonna give up that kind of money unless you're getting something out that deal. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that worked. But before we go, what I want to do is I want to, like I always do on my radio show, Las Vegas Boulevard, which y'all can check out every Sunday night on Vibe 99.7. Vibe 99.7 every Sunday night from 7 to 11. Las Vegas Boulevard. Yep, the radio show. We bump Vegas music and much, much more. You do not have to be from Vegas to get your music on Las Vegas Boulevard Radio. Okay? And just like here, you don't have to be from Vegas to get your video played right here. You know, you just got to have some dope ass shit. That's all that is. It's all it is. You know, we like to support the independent and the local. That's what we like to do on Las Vegas Boulevard. To give you some shit that you ain't gonna hear 900 times a day. You know, that's what we doing, man. So that being said, y'all can follow me on Instagram too, StacyGLV, StacyGLV. All right, I want y'all to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, say what you gotta say. I don't care, you know, what you say. None of that. Just, you know, let it out. Let it be known. That's all I can tell you. Let that shit be known. All right? But we're going to get up out of here with Just Be a G17. Just Be a G17. This is 17 artists from across the country. Yep. Featuring myself and my man Big Fever from right out here in Las Vegas, baby. And the song is called Just Be a G. And, hey, listen. Whatever you do, and I mean whatsoever you do, just be a G doing it.
Stand up. You can blood a crib walking, it really don't matter to me. No, you can throw up your D's and your B's and all you see. C-Spot Global. You can ride in your low, smoke on some road, dripping with a back thick cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G. Representing for the troops and the Damu homies out of the Southland. Section 8 babies out the belly of the outstanding. Gang slide steppers, the fraternity. Third, fourth generation action out the enemies is us. Bloodstained streets and the muddy flags. Politics is killing off the money bags. Community revolution in progress and bleeding black love over everything that digress us.
With the cut of these niggas know I'm my slogan. I was born and raised standing with niggas dogging the Logan. Big trade with no one and I rep that. 6 shots still standing low, minus setbacks. Look, Compton, California, catch me on them toners. Black on black like the strap killers on corners. Tipping down Easy Street up in my Lolo. Cruising with a bad thick chick and she go.
Walking, it really don't matter to me. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. 52 cents. You can ride in your low, smoke on some road, dripping with a bad thick cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
I'm from the desert by any measure, I'm spitting peas. I'm sending pictures to naked bitches and charging fees. And if that bitch she get hungry, send her the licky D's. I like the way she licky dicky went on her knees. Pay me please for administration and pimping fees. It's compensation for conversation and chemistry. This Vegas pimping make money and many enemies. That's why my mama said, honey, you gon'
let the stop down quick, hit the city for a crew. Got them sticks on dick, I ain't trying to get no bruise. Man, the city fucked up, niggas out here on the fool. Got them choppers on deck, cause I'm all about the tool. Got a thick, big bitch, main job, keep it hard. When I'm deep up in that pussy, make that motherfucker fall for me. Pull up on the spot, get a hot clog of artery. Hop back in my automotive, pull up with my daughter be.
You can blood a crib walking, it really don't matter to me. The vet. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. some grow, dipping with a back they cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
Yeah, fuck it. Get your bucks up. We was raised there with tough luck. Chopper City in the ghetto. Homie, lace your chucks up. Living the ghetto was struggling, surviving through the projects. Little homie on the heroin. I'm mixing up the high tech. Car headed Levert. I'm in the kitchen with the Pyrex. Look, ain't no a motherfucker, homie. Now check the biceps. Work hard, Santa Claus white. Like I'm Wyclef watching the work turn hard. And then I sidestep.
No weapon, getting bagged with aggression. I spit isms, come learn a lesson. I'm all been in the game like George from the Jetsons. Women confessing, born with a blessing. Knee deep in it. Hit it with aggression, ain't studying the haters with their propaganda. Gangsters keep it real down here in Louisiana, getting money on the block in a black bandana.
You can blood crip walking, it really don't matter to me. You already know it's Ike the ruler. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. Teflon the dime. You can ride in your low, smoke on some go-go, dipping with a back they cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
I be that right side flag. I'm in the city. Finna front you with the bros and get a break. Lokes on red chucks on, no khakis. These are mere G's. I'ma whoop on them, they do fast. Big bank Uchi's in the pocket, got cabbage. I'm interested in your girl, better watch it. I back. Yeah, keep that shit P. Yeah, keep that shit G. And we ain't hanging with no marks, we ain't fucking with no Yeezys. Keep it solid on real. Nigga, keep it real. That part.
I'm from the M-Town. Home of the gangster walk. 901 Chevy counting with that pimp talk. 3 G's. God, government, and game. Born in the scripture, gotta stay in my lane. Mary J. Gotta keep me on my feet. I don't smoke no more. I sip weed, TV.
You can blood crip walking, it really don't matter to me. Hey, Jen the got it. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. She in the building. You can ride in your low, smoke on some go-go, dipping with a back they cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
I be a G. 442 is down B25 from the low end, so I go when it's crush time. All my shit Taylor, steal from Robert Taylor. It's Jink by this name like a propeller. Wanna be a star, yeah, nothing will prepare you. Shot town, can't accept no failures. Got my 43rd, loud cloud, vision blurred. Pot getting stirred in the castle undisturbed.
Said I birthed these niggas, now it's time to feed them Gerber. If it ain't about the money, no need to converse further. Penthouse, top floors, executive suites. Spend about a rack or two in every place that we eat. My cup flooded with hundreds, it just might leak. I just might speak at premieres when we show up. Hopping out of foreign cars, deuces where we throw up. And everybody seems to wanna follow.
You can blood crip walking, it really don't matter to me. Say the boss. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. Yeah. You can ride in your low, smoke on some go-go, dipping with a back they cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
Blue strips, boss chick, I'm a gangster. Ain't fucking with no lanes, man, my man on this paper. What we do? Make the beat go crazy. What up, dog? You know it's KMB, my baby. Yeah. Cause if you fucking with my team, you know that shit gon' call.
Praises to Allah, another day to get it right. Shit, LOTL joggers, matching hoodie, pair of nights. Hit up Jizzle, what's the verdict? When that Medi wanna hit up Yanni, told her flip it, take that back in and rewind it. Check my stock, yeah, my nephew some new shoes, he fresh as day. Hit up Shannon, cause she thicker than the shake from UDF. Easy going, slow rolling through the lanes and nigga vibing. It's the first I've been out south and I ain't heard no fucking sirens. Blessings, CC Dub, I'm just told Smith and Wesson. Case is too good to be true in opposition, second guessing. Hit up East and Jay dropping, after that I hit up Tuttle.
You can blood crip walking, it really don't matter to me. Charlotte, what up, though? You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. The superstar. You can ride in your low, smoke on some go-go, dipping with a back they cold. Y'all better stay. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
Yeah, it never matter, niggas, bro, they just be capping. Ranking 12, had to gap and made it home, they like, what happened? These bitches hitting in my DM, trying to trap me, have a baby. Told that bitch she fucking crazy, I ain't no motherfucking savior. No, nigga, I ain't finna press on SoundCloud link. I want the bread for a nigga, I ain't worried about no beef. Drop that walk up in my double cut and mix it like it's banking soda. Trapping hard, I got runners pulling up in South Dakota.
7-4 to the world blow, all I know is slow. And Central Florida with some tycoons, all we know is blowing 100 rounds on a Draco, living in the smoke. Kept the name with a switch, mobbing with the cutthroat. Take it legal 2 times, I just came to up the scope. With the guys that throw L's and leave brains on the floor. Take it legal 2 times, I just came to up the scope. With the guys that throw L's and leave brains on the floor.
You can blood crip walking, it really don't matter to me. You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. Last but not least, you can ride in your low, smoke on some go-go, dipping with a back they cold.
Paoli, PA.
It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
big stepper. Nigga, I'm a G. Told my niggas when I make it that I promise we gon' feast. A lovely day to wake up to a bank account increase. I got a couple streams of income, I'm kinda hard to reach. My time is never free, so I don't show without deposit. I be dripping in some new shit that been sitting in my closet. Diamonds on my neck and wrist, bands all in my pocket. Any room I get my presence, I'm the motherfucking topic. Never met a nigga fresh like me, even if it's just some jeans and a fresh white tee. So I don't even really think it's anything I'm wearing. I just slowly scan the room and catch them staring. Really no comparing me to other niggas, they ain't on my level. And distractions, they ain't nothing but the devil. I was taught at early ages, keep my foot all on the pedal till I get what I deserve and never settle.
You can blood a crib walking and really don't matter to me.
C-Spot Global.
You can throw up your P's and your B's and all you see. You can ride in your low smoke on some dro, dripping with a got that cold. It really don't matter to me, just be a G.
Big Steve in the building.
Warning. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. We got a bunch of bad bitches in the city, you winner, so come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. Take us, nigga. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. We got a bunch of bad bitches in the city, you winner, so come on. Come on. I come on. I come on. Come on. Come on. I come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. That's right. We put stitches in ditches, cause some of these niggas is bitches, so come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them cliffhanger thrillers and pimps be slanging chinchillas, so come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Take us, nigga. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Drug dealers, gorilla, thug niggas and killers. So come on, come on, I come on, I come on, I come on, come on, I come on, I come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them golden knights and they controlling the ice. So come on, come on, hey, come on, come on. What happens here only happens here, my nigga. Got them Las Vegas aces, and we got Raider Nation, so come on, come on. Hey, come on, come on. What happens here only happens here. Only here. This where we make them bitch ass niggas disappear. They disappear. If you hate my city, make it clear. Make it clear. Nigga, you can get the fuck up out of here.